sheets, and don't forget that you also need to sign out with your Lamar ID. If you don't have the card, just make sure you know your L number. Today we have Sandy and Jamie from Enterprise presenting on Beyond the Backpack or Backpack to Briefcase. Can we do the same thing? So let's welcome them. Hi, how's everybody doing today? Good. Well, first of all, I just kind of want to get an idea of who we have in the room today. So how many seniors do we have? Okay, y'all spread out, so I need, okay. Everyone's senior. Juniors? Sophomores? Okay, so you're all seniors. All right, great. Freshmen? Sorry. Okay, good. Well, awesome. So I know we're talking a little bit about what to expect upon after graduation, making sure you're all ready. Currently today, most of you are seniors probably graduating either December or May. So I'm hoping that all of you have your plan already. You're not still thinking about what you want to do when you grow up, right? So how many of you today have your career lined up already? And I say career because anybody can get a job. I'm talking about a career. How many? Raise your hand up high and proud. I mean, gosh, I almost had a career lined up after graduation. So only one person? Two? Three? Okay, good. So the rest of you're in the right place. Good. Hopefully I can make some goals and dreams for you guys happen. My name is Sandy De La Garza. I'm with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Enterprise Holdings. I started with the company 7.5 years ago, right after graduation from college. Graduated with a bachelor's in marketing from South Texas, Pan American. If you guys are familiar with that, way down south by the border. I started as a manager trainee, worked my way up into the management role, and then transitioned 4 years with the company into the talent acquisition team, which is what I'm currently doing this today. I've been in my role 3.5 years. I love what I do. I get to meet great people like you, come and talk to them about the wonderful opportunities that our company has to offer, and hopefully open your eyes a little bit more about different opportunities. How many business majors do we have here? Are you all business majors? Any other majors? So I like interactive presentations. One, because I was in your shoes at one point, and I know presentations can be very boring, especially PowerPoints. So if you guys interact and you guys ask questions and talk to me and make me feel that I'm somewhat interesting, you guys get cool prizes, okay? I do have some footballs. Now I will warn you, I'm not good at sports, and I might hit you in the head, so please, I'm sorry. I have some cool footballs, balls, and some little Enterprise cars. Somebody drew here, I think I did that one. Okay. So a little bit about my company before we get started about setting you up for success upon graduation. We were founded first of all, has anybody ever heard of Enterprise, our company, or a little bit about our career path? Majority of you. Have you all sat in this presentation before? Never? Anybody? Yeah. You guys are all spread out. What am I trying to? You have a question?
No.
Oh, you've been in it? Okay, awesome. So we were founded back in 1957. We did, actually, we were named after the USS Enterprise, the aircraft ship for Mr. Taylor. We started in a fleet with 7 vehicles. Currently today, you will find us in over 6,000 locations. I'm very proud to say that we're in over 70 countries. Here in Houston, out of Houston areas, which is Beaumont, Lake Jackson, Huntsville, surrounding areas, we have about 200 locations. We're looking at about opening 14 new stores this year alone, just in the Houston market. Okay? Right now, the revenue, it says we have $15 billion, but currently year to date, our numbers just came out, we're at $19.9 billion currently year to date. A little bit about our career path. So, has anybody ever seen this before? Okay. So it's a very, very clear structure about what our company has to offer. If you start with us today, I don't care what experience and what background you have, as long as you have a bachelor's degree and you're interested in a career path in management, sales, and customer service, this is a great opportunity for you to start. Again, regardless of what background you may have, if you have 20 years of sales experience, you're a VP of a company, you want to work for Enterprise, you have to start from the bottom and work your way up. Everybody above you started in your shoes at one point in their career, so we strictly promote you based on performance, okay? You start off as a manager trainee. So manager trainee, basically understanding the business from the ground up. You're gonna do everything from sales, marketing, customer service, how to learn how to run a business and be profitable. If you perform well, you get promoted. Typically, your first promotion could go about 9 to 12 months, depending on your personal performance. So you move up to what we call an assistant manager. So you start off as a manager trainee and you get promoted to assistant manager. Again, 9 to 12 months of being with a company. Do you know anybody that works for the company currently today? Anybody? Good, awesome. You have somebody that works for the company, a friend? A what? John Franks. Okay, Jonathan Franks, awesome. He works in our truck division. You do?
Yeah.
Who?
Robert Lee.
Robert Lee, yeah. He's one of our new hires. It's awesome. Anybody else?
Oh, Sheldon Lee.
Sheldon Lee, awesome. I met you already, right? Okay. So all of these employees started as manager trainees. A lot of them are still there today, and a lot of them have been promoted and moved up very quickly with the company. Once again, I started there. Jamie started there. My boss started there. So the best thing about the company is knowing that everybody above you has been in your shoes at one point in their career. You can be an assistant manager anywhere between 6 months to 2 years. Once again, it really depends on your personal performance, and how quickly you want to move up is how quickly it can happen if you perform. As an assistant manager, once you become a branch manager, you're now running your own store. It's kind of like running your own business. You're in charge of the branch overhead, you're in charge of paying your employees, making sure that you're growing your business, and at the same time being profitable. So as a branch manager, a really cool perk on top of that is you get a company car. You don't pay for gas, you don't pay for car insurance, you don't pay for maintenance, all the sweet perks that come with having a company car. Who wouldn't want a company car right now? Yeah? No? You guys, I mean, I know it's lunchtime. Did you guys eat already? Yeah? No wonder. All right, so as a branch manager, I've been with the company 7.5 years. I haven't paid for gas, car insurance, or anything for about 5.5 years. It's a very sweet perk. I'm telling you, I don't know how much gas is, and I don't care. You have a question?
Is there a limited mileage on it?
No.
No.
Last year, I probably put, in my brand new car, I got it with 0 miles, I put like 35,000 miles in it. So in 1 year, it's a lot. I didn't realize it until my husband bought it up, but anyway. So as a branch manager, not only do you get all those cool perks, from the beginning, obviously, we offer full benefits: medical, dental, vision, 401k, profit sharing. We offer vacation, paid holidays. Ladies, we offer maternity leave. You get 3 months of maternity leave. Guys, we offer paternity leave. You get 5 days for paternity leave. Not a lot of companies give you that, so that's a good thing, okay? Be proud. On top of that, as a branch manager, the next promotion is what we call an area manager. At this point, you're now running a district. You're running about 4 to 8 stores. It really just depends on how quickly you grow your business and how many stores you get when you get promoted. I know you're also wondering about how much money are on these roles. Who's curious to know? All of you, I'm assuming, right? Okay, so starting off, the starting salary is not the picture-perfect starting salary, I will tell you. You're probably thinking, like, it's way too little, I want more. You're coming out of college, you want to be making $60,000, $75,000, right? Is that realistic? Is that realistic?
Yes.
It is? Okay, well, good, awesome. If you find that job, that career, that pays you 75 starting off, good luck, good, awesome, good for you. Starting off with enterprise, it's 40,000. Okay, 40,000 is the base salary. Now, if you make 40,000 starting off with my company, your first year, you weren't as good as you thought you were. Okay, you didn't get promoted, you didn't push yourself to get to the next level. Your first promotion to assistant manager, your pay goes up to 49,000. 49,000, you get a $9,000 pay increase, a $750 bonus saying congratulations, you got promoted. That's the minimum. At this point, you're now earning salary plus commission. So our goal is for you to make more. Obviously, we want you to make more. So if you make 49,000 your first year as an assistant, again, you are not that good, all right? But we're hoping that we're hiring the right people, and we're hiring great people who will be great. Your next promotion is branch manager. The minimum you'll make as a branch manager is $54,000. I will tell you that I don't know a single branch manager that makes that. There's an average, it's about 75, and I have several making 90 plus. Very realistic. You're thinking, how do they make that much money? They're just renting cars. Well, that's the idea of the business, is renting cars. But they're not just renting cars, they're running a business. They're business owners. They're managing everything that comes out with running that location. Every single car that comes out of their lot, they're responsible for. And it's also growing the business, trying to promote and develop their employees, their teams. So if I'm a branch manager and I have an assistant and I have my MTs, I'm trying to get them to do well because they're now making me money. Okay? So you're in charge of everything that comes with running the business. Your next promotion, area manager. As an area manager, your goal to get there is about maybe 3 to 7 years. Average is about 5 years. As an area manager, the minimum you will make is 85 up to 190 plus. There's no cap. I'm only saying 90 plus is because 190 plus is because it's really based on your performance. I'm never going to tell you, you need to slow down, you're making too much money, okay? Because guess what, you're making me money, so keep going. That's what we promote. We promote from performance, we promote you from within, and you're going to make money based on how well you grow your business. If you're good at sales, you're good with customers, it's going to come naturally. And if your employees are happy. One of our values is taking care of your customers and employees, and profits and growth will follow. Why is that? Can anybody just tell me why that's important? Come on, for a ball, a football, a car, anybody? Taking care of your customers and employees, profits and growth will follow.
Because that's where it starts,
That's where it starts. What do you mean?
with your customers and your employees.
Right. So if your customers aren't happy,
You're not getting money.
you're not going to be growing your business. But if your employee's not happy, how are they going to? They're not going to keep your customers happy. Your customers aren't happy. You're not going to be able to grow your business. If you're not growing your business, you're not going to make money.
Right.
So all of that is a chain effect. Football, car, or ball.
Football.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Yay. Okay. I'm not gonna, that was her fault. You got it.
No.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. All right, so area managers. Area managers, at this point, you're now running 4 to 8 stores. It really just depends on your location, right? The next promotion is what we call regional rental manager. A regional rental manager now runs a region. Here in Houston, we're divided, it's a group. We're divided into 4 regions. So we each have our regional rental manager and a regional vice president. I can tell you how much they make, but it might seem a little unrealistic. Regional rental managers can make $250 plus. There's no cap, once again. Regional vice presidents, which is a regional vice president in each region, can make about $100,000 a month. Okay? Any position above that, you're now looking at a 7-figure position. Okay? I'm very proud to say that my regional vice president currently today has been with the company 8.5 years. And he's now an RVP. That's amazing. That's a great story.
Did you say 100,000 a month?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're talking about a 7-figure position at that point. Regional vice president, I mean, we have 4 regional vice presidents in Houston alone, and we have we're in over 70 countries. I mean, you can only imagine, we're probably one of the largest companies that have the most millionaires currently working for us. One of the biggest things that I'm proud of, again, about my company is that we're recession-proof. You know, I'm a recruiter. I go through a lot of interviews and applications and stuff. And currently what I'm seeing a lot today, I won't tell you what industries and what companies, but I'm seeing a lot of individuals applying for our company, having to start from the bottom all over again, who've been employed with another company for 20 plus years and are wanting to start all over again. Isn't that a scary feeling? I mean, I know it is. For a lot of you maybe who are just going into the real world and really going into corporate America, not really thinking about that, but for those of you who have already probably been there, the fact that you're having to worry about job security and all of that, it's a scary feeling. And I think that that's one of the things that has probably kept me here with this company, is knowing that I'll be 50, 60 years old, and the company won't let me go because they can't afford me. Okay? They're going to let me go, because I'm terrible at my job, or because I did something unethical. Okay? Not because they can't afford me. And I think that that's something that should be very important to everybody. If that's not important to you today, I really hope it is as soon as you leave this room today. Is it important to you guys? Job security? Yeah? Not everybody said yes. I guess some of you it isn't. It's awesome. So this is our career path. You know, our company is going to tell you how it is. We're not going to tell you, hey, we'll promote you. If there's a possibility down the road, there may be opportunity. I'm telling you today, and I'm being recorded, there is opportunity. You will get promoted if you perform. If you perform with our company, there is opportunity for you, and I can't really be any more clear than that. Okay? If you perform in sales, now if you're good at sales, if you're not good at sales, if you're not good with customers, if you're not good with employees and taking care of your personal employees, then you'll struggle. You will, but the opportunity is there. Any questions on this? For a ball? Yeah.
I have a question. So you would say it takes about 9 to 12 months, depending on your performance, to improve to each level?
So your first promotion, about 9 to 12 months. Second promotion, 6 months to 2 years, depends on you. third promotion, you become an area manager anywhere between 3 to 5 years. It really depends on you. Yes, it can happen very quickly, or it can take a little longer. Again, it depends on you.
So it could take up to like 20 years to be a regional
So,
manager.
average for a regional vice president that I've seen is anywhere between 10 to 15 years. So it's very different. Everybody gets paid based on performance, right? So you can be an area manager, you can be a branch manager making more than an area manager. So I'm not telling you because you're at this level you have to be making more than this person. Hopefully when you become an area manager for that branch manager, you're probably making more than that person. But I've seen it to where branch managers are making 120, 130,000 and their area manager is making 100 because they just got promoted and they didn't really build their pay plan, they didn't build their growth, they didn't grow their business as quickly as this other person may have. This is one career path that we have to offer, and that's not the only one. We're such a large, huge company that we have so many divisions within the company that we promote from within. We only promote from within. The only outside company we will promote for is our accounting department. Other than that, every other department have been in this role at one point in their career. So I transitioned into the talent acquisition team. I was a branch manager, so based on my performance is how I got into, got to advance. And then I transitioned into the talent acquisition. We have fleet, we have remarketing, we have business rental. I mean, there's so many divisions, I can't name them all, but there's so many departments that one day someone may come to you and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Like they did to me, like they did to Jamie.
And the great thing about Enterprise is we have so many different avenues within the company that you can change your career and stay with the company. And it's kind of like college, right? You start with one degree as a freshman. Maybe your sophomore, junior year, you decide that's not for you. Kind of the same thing with Enterprise. You start with one position, you get to another, and you're like, well, this isn't for me. We have so many different departments. You can go from accounting to talent acquisition to fleet. It's a performance-based company, so no matter what department you're in, as long as you're performing, you're going to be successful with the company.
Any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you. You want to give her?
Yeah. You want a ball, a car, or a football?
It doesn't matter.
Ready?
Oh gosh.
Wow! Can you say we know?
Awesome.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah.
So is it a franchise?
No, we are owned by one family, the Taylors. Yeah, so that's kind of the neat thing is, she talked about recession-proof. We've never done layoffs. The family is very big about employees and customers. So start from the top down. The culture is amazing within the company.
Yeah. So back in 2007, Enterprise bought out National and Alamo. So for those of you that don't know, we own National and Alamo. We didn't lay anybody off when we bought the company out, and that's when in 2008 we ended up buying the parent company named Enterprise Holdings. So that's why we're Enterprise Holdings as a company, but we have Enterprise Rent-A-Car, National Rent-A-Car, and Alamo Rent-A-Car. Any other questions? Yeah. For
higher than a bachelor?
no. So you can move up as far as you want with a company as soon as you get your foot in the door. As a manager trainee, the minimum requirement would require you to have a bachelor's. That's the minimum. I get asked all the time, why do you need a bachelor's to rent cars? And once again, and I make that very clear, I'm not hiring, you're right, we don't require someone to to need a bachelor's to rent cars. Anybody can do that. That's the front end of the business. That's the easy part. I can rent a car all day long with my eyes closed. It's running the business. It's not managing the logistics parts of the business. You're managing, so you have 10 reservations, you have one car in your lot. Figure it out. And you're now having to figure all of that out. You have 4 people calling you that they're at the shop. You have a line of customers. You have the phone ringing. And again, that's the front end of the business, but you have to be able to manage everything else that comes with it.
Your branch alone is almost $1 million operation that you're running if you think about all the assets that go into it. You might have 200 cars in your fleet, averaging about $20,000 to $40,000 a car, plus your overhead, plus your employees that you're managing. So that's why we require a bachelor's degree, and that's what we're teaching you is how to run a business. So we're teaching you all that you need to know higher education.
No.
Yeah.
Which is good because you're going to get with our company starting off, what you will get in a master's degree, what you get in 2 years, you'll get it in 6 months, probably sooner. You're going to learn it. You're going to learn everything. whenever you're ready to get promoted, we do what we call a grill. We grill you. So you meet for an hour with each department head in every division, and they grill you on that specific category for what you're talking to them about. And if you pass, then you're eligible to get promoted. It's very intense. It's pretty. It's fun, right? Where you're able to try to learn everything as much as you can, and there's a lot of study groups, and everybody tries to help each other because we're here to help each other. As a branch manager, I won't get to the next level if I don't promote my employees. So you can go into a position today and your boss may be too scared for you to be too good because you might take their position. Guess what? I want you to take my job so I can get promoted. If you take my job, I get the next one. Any other questions? Okay.
What are the hours like? Is it like a normal 9 to 5 job?
No, it's not a normal 9 to 5 job. It's a sales career, you know. It is the kind of job that you get to go home and you leave work at work, which is awesome. But you're working, it's about a 49-hour work week. We're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6. Saturdays and Sundays we're open 9 to 12 or 9 to 2, depending on the location. You don't work 7 days a week. We only want you to work your 49 hours. So if you happen to work, you rotate your weekends. So if you work a weekend, you do get a day and a half off during the week. And if you don't work a weekend, you just work 5-day operation. And it also depends on the location. We do only have, I believe, just in the Beaumont area, I think we have 2 branches that are open on Sundays. In Houston, we have about 5. So very few. We rotate the Sunday locations, and we only started doing that recently. So we'll see how that goes if we continue to do that. Any other questions? I didn't give you guys fall, sorry. Jamie's slacking.
Ball or
Car?
So when can you start? Now, I know some of you today may not be interested in a career with Enterprise, and that's not really why you're here today. I just want to give you guys the opportunity to see that we're more than just a rent-a-car company, and it's an industry for you guys to really build success, especially those who are coming right out of college who haven't really done much but just go to school and probably have part-time jobs, and for those who have a profession who are willing to try something different. But we're here to help you on hopefully trying to get you ready for when it comes to interview, when it comes to preparing for what to expect to get the job, to get your career, and once you get it, where do you go from there? Who here has a career currently today? Working in your dream, or with a company that you really enjoy? Okay, awesome. You had a question?
Like the people graduating, just graduating and like coming straight to Enterprise, what on average, like what are your qualifications? Like y'all expect like the same GPA or like stuff like that?
Okay, very good question. As a company, I don't look at your GPA. I look for your skills. So I'm gonna look to make sure you meet the minimum qualifications, which is you have a bachelor's degree and you have at least 6 months of sales, customer service, or some sort of leadership skill. So if you're a full-time student and that's all you do, I don't think that I wouldn't be able to consider you. I need to look at what have you been doing while you were in school. So that's great, you're a full-time student. Everybody that you're graduating with is a full-time student too. But what's going to set you apart from everybody else? So your leadership skills, being involved in organizations, being, maybe the president of an organization, a sorority, a fraternity, whatever. Or if you have a job, is it related to customer service and sales? Okay. Any other questions? Great questions, thanks guys. So, sorry.
we need to practice our throwing skills before we come back.
Know what you want in a career. So I'm hoping that the majority of you here today know what you want. You're all seniors. So I'm expecting that you all have your plan. You have maybe a list of maybe 5 to 10 companies that you're considering. You can't put your eggs all in one basket. You can't expect to just go for that one company, because if it doesn't work out, you need plan B, plan C, and possibly plan D. Okay? So that's what we're here today. Resume builder, growth opportunities, the philosophy for promotions, training. So all of this is something that you kind of want to see if the company offers. Does this company offer all of these opportunities if they're important to you? So you're going to have to write a list of, okay, this is what's important to me. It's important that I have worked for a company that has job stability. So you look at their history. All of that's online. Growth opportunities. Do they are the people in that position. Call the people that work at that company, ask them questions. I challenge all of you to do that. If you're interested in enterprise, call a couple local branches and ask them about what they like best about the company. What are some struggles? What are some challenges? And that's okay to do that. Training programs. Do we offer training? On-the-job training? Absolutely. Our company offers that. Does your company that you're looking for, are you going to continue to learn? You can start for a company and you're going to stay in that position and it's all you're going to do the same thing over and over and over. But if you're okay with that, then that's good for you. But if you're not, then you want to be able to ask these questions. Stability, risk, work environment. Do you want to work in a cubicle type setting, or do you want to work interacting with customers, or do you just want to work with your employees and not have to deal with customers? I mean, that's obviously very important because this is hopefully a life-changing opportunity for you, and you don't want to be going from job to job to job, because again, that will look really bad, right? Any questions? Yeah.
Well, it's not really related, but I was going to ask about Enterprise's social responsibility initiatives.
The what?
Social responsibility initiatives?
Yeah, like our involvement. It's a good question. So I think, if I remember correctly, we donated last year, correct me if I'm wrong, $215 million in charitable events. That's including the United Way, any foundation. So yes, we're very involved. The Taylor family is a very well-known family in St. Louis. They're always giving back to the community, not just St. Louis, but everywhere. Anytime there's any tragedy, we're the first, to donate. So absolutely, we do a lot of, just in Houston alone, we do humanity. What is it called? Habitat for Humanity. We do the United Way campaign. What else do we do?
Child advocates. We do that. And any foundation that you might want to be involved in, we're open. One of our founding values is our door's always open. So we're open for, let's say you're really involved in a certain organization, you want to donate or you want to volunteer time. We listen and we do what we can to help give back to that organization too.
Yeah, we pay you, I believe, 8 hours for your time that you spend doing any outside charitable events. You just have to turn in a form and we keep track of that. Yeah?
I want to know, like, if you was, like, just say if you was to get a job and you're working out here for Enterprise, like, say if you want to transfer to Houston, how long would you have to wait?
So if you start somewhere, here in Houston, Beaumont is still considered a Houston market. It's part of the Houston group. So you can transfer right away. However, we would probably want you to be there within 3 months to 6 months, so we can see your performance to be able to move you to the next location. Only because if I'm an area manager and you're coming from Beaumont and you want to move to my area, I want to know that you're good, right? I don't want to just take someone that's not performing, that's not trying, just to move to Houston to look for something else. So I want to make sure that you're on the right track, that you're performing to be able to come to my area. I started in Group 52, which is, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. I started in South Texas, which is way, way down south. I was there 6 months when I transferred to Houston. Okay, I had to prove myself all over in Houston to get to the next level. Any other questions?
So,
Yeah.
So is it like a contract or is it,
No, it's not a contract. It is a long interview process, and we hope to try to hire the right person for this position and hopefully get your full commitment. And you're honest with us and tell us that you're willing to invest your time to be able to find success for our company. However, I will tell you, in a year from now, if you find that you're at a dead end and you're not finding success and you're completely burned out and this is not what you want, we're not going to be mad at you for leaving. But our retention currently year to date is about a 74-75% retention for all of our manager trainees, and it's higher for higher management. But that's something that we make sure in the interview process that we dig very deep and make sure that this is something you're really going to fully commit to. Any other questions? Sorry. Okay, so communications. So the first part of communication comes from your resume. I was here yesterday for a networking event, and I was also here it was a speed networking, and it was also a lunch networking event. Every single resume that I got from those individuals that I met with honestly needed a lot of work. I don't know if you guys are taking full advantage of the Career Center or what advantage you're taking to be able to build your resume. A resume is not an essay. I don't have time to read an essay. I don't have time to read 4 pages of your personal life history while you were in college. A resume is just get to the point, say with your facts, and sell me in the first 2 lines of that resume that I read. An objective. Is an objective important? I think an objective is important if you know what company specifically you're applying for and that resume is going to that company alone. Or what industry you're applying for and you're only applying for those industries. Okay, so you want oil and gas, you want to make sure you put that in the resume, but only apply for oil and gas, and don't apply for enterprise having that on your objective. Because guess what, after I see that on the objective, I'm just going to remove you from the application process. Very simple, yeah.
Do you always need an objective?
No, so an objective is not necessary. I think an objective, if you're recently graduated and you're looking for an opportunity and you're putting your resume out there, and all of you are, and it's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But then don't put an objective. You know, you want to sell yourself and sell your skills and your experience, but an objective is not necessarily important. Now, my cover letter, is a cover letter important? Again, it really just depends on the employer and if that's something that you think will make you stand out. If you're going to repeat what you write on your cover letter on your resume, it's not really necessary. Personally, that's my opinion. Every employer is different. Some people like it, some people don't. So there's nothing wrong. It's not going to kill you if you do one. Emails, making sure whenever you type an email, a lot of us text nowadays. It's very easy to do the I uncapitalized, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's really easy not to capitalize at all, or it's really easy just to capitalize your entire email. I think when you capitalize your entire email, you're yelling at me, right? That means I get that all the time. So making sure when you're communicating, your first form of communication that is probably the most important part. I don't know you, I don't get to see you, I don't get to meet with you, I get to read about you. So an objective is important if you're applying for a specific company. Now, from your resume, you want to put what's the most something you're very proud of first, all the way to the least. So your most recent experience. I'm going to give you an example. If you're an accounting major and you're applying for an accounting company, and all your experience is sales and customer service, it has no accounting experience, how is an accounting company going to be able to take your resume serious or even consider you? Opposite, if you're wanting to go into the business industry and sales and marketing, but all your resume says about you is accounting, why would I consider you for my sales and marketing position, right? So it's important that your resume reflects what the company you're applying for. So if you're applying for a specific company, my biggest advice is probably have maybe 5 resumes that you can kind of tweak to if you're interested in different industries, which I hope you're not. I hope you're all focusing on one. But if you are, then it's okay to have that. But I would look at the company, the employer that you're applying for. Look at their competencies, look at their qualifications, the minimum qualifications on their application. It will say that. Make your resume reflect that. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I tried to apply for enterprise.
Oh no. Okay.
But
Try.
y'all required that your driving record be only one violation.
Right. So you have to have no more than 2 moving violations in the last 3 years. Why is that important? What is our business?
Because y'all rent cars.
We rent cars. So I would be a little hesitant to invest my money on someone that might be a reckless driver. I get what you mean, but it's only the last 3 years. So if one of them falls off, we'll hire you. Trust me, we hate it all the time. We see it. We see great people, and then they have 5 tickets in the last 3 years. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't
We're a
offer.
self-insured company, so we aren't able to insure you in our vehicles. Even with us, like if we have 3 accidents, we can get fired.
We'll be on probation in terms of termination.
Yeah, so I mean, they take it very seriously with driving records for current employees and people who are going to be coming into the company. The 3 ways to get fired with enterprise are something unethical, driving issues, or performance. So those are the only 3 ways to get fired.
Let go. Yeah.
Yeah, let go.
And then, hopefully those tickets have fallen off and you'd like to consider us again. Say 3 years. And honestly, guys, so if you guys do defensive driving or blank. Deferred education, that comes, it won't pop up on your record. A lot of people don't know that. So if you get a ticket and you do defensive driving, it comes off your record and that won't count against you.
That's only if the judge gets you to defer adjudication.
Or the deferred adjudication is if the judge approves it, but the defensive driving, okay, we're going off topic, but the defensive driving does work. And unless you're a terrible driver and you get a ticket every 6 months, and it might be a little different, but if it's like once a year, I think you have a freebie.
Yes, don't pay the ticket. Do defensive driving.
Yeah.
It's not just for our company. It could be any other company. They might consider driving issues.
Yeah, plus you get 10% off on your insurance.
Yeah.
So, sorry, okay, awesome. Anyway, so education, your education, guys, it's probably the very first thing that should be on your resume because that is the most important to you, I think, right? Currently, you're all graduating. That is probably something that you really want to sell. And of course, your experience. Anybody have any questions on the resume?
Make sure with your contact information you have a professional email address. You don't want your email address from high school, cutie babe 401 or whatever it might be. You just want to be professional. You're going to be dealing with a talent acquisition, a recruiting manager, a hiring manager. You don't want that embarrassing email address when they're reaching out to you.
Right.
And a good phone number too.
So when you're applying for a company, I'm hoping that all of you are keeping track of all of the companies you're applying for. Obviously, your goal is for someone to call you. Once they call you, you want to be able to sound excited and be like, yes, I've actually been waiting for your call. I'm so excited you guys called. So you've already done your research. You already know what this company offers. I'm not going to apply for a company that I really don't want to work for, but I'm just going to put in my application. You want to know what this company has to offer to be able to give you everything that you're looking for, like we talked about in the beginning. Look for things that are important to you. Get a good job description. So quickly jot down some questions or some questions that you may have for the employer, and maybe a little bit of description of the job itself. Any questions on that?
So, like, what would you consider a really great question that you've been asked before, or, you know, like you would ask, or you asked when you got hired?
For me personally, I think really showing your interest. One, I want to know that you did your research. So I know that if you ask me a question about something that you read online, shows me that you did your research about the company. If you ask me, so what do you do? Then I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to tell you what I do, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, did you even bother to read about this industry? I'm not that mean, I promise. I'm really nice when you interview with me. But that's probably something. So a very good question, I think, is how quickly do you get promoted? What is the career path with your company? What are some challenges that you may have come when you started with your company? I understand you strictly promote from within. So I'm assuming you were a manager trainee. What are some challenges that you may have had yourself? So really understanding and being able to know more about the industry, maybe some personal experience, and also saying, hey, you know what, I spoke to this person at this location, and I was able to ask them a little bit of questions, and this is what they said. Would you agree? You know, so it also tells me, wow, they actually contacted someone and they, you know, took it a step further. And it's very rare when I see that, but when I do, it really impresses me. Any other questions? No? So the do's, practice. And it's very silly to say this, but practicing in front of a mirror, it actually does help, okay? Practicing in front of your friends, if you sit down with your friend and you start role playing, it may seem silly at first, but it helps. And this is the person you're comfortable with, and if you're struggling with that person, imagine how it's going to be with the employer. Once you get out of your zone, out of your comfort zone, when you go into that employer's office and you sit in front of them for a while, your nerves start kicking in. You start forgetting. When you walk out, you're like, man, why did I say that? Man, I should have said this. And you start really beating yourself up. So if you start practicing, you won't have to worry about that as much. You still will, but you won't, not as much. Have copies of your resume. Don't assume because you email them your resume that they're going to have a copy of your resume. It always looks professional. You don't want to carry a bunch of stuff with you, just your portfolio with a couple copies in there. Have it ready in case they need it. You're ready for it, okay? And plus, your resume is always going to look nicer and probably maybe in a prettier paper, I don't know, than what they're going to print out or be able to see online. Fresh breath. So a lot of times we're sitting to each other. Don't wake up and go straight there, make sure that you ate something and you brushed your teeth, maybe chewed some gum before, spit it out before you actually meet with them, have a mint or something before, but fresh breath is important. I will tell you that if someone is interviewing you and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but if your breath stinks, the interview won't go as long, okay? Make good eye contact. If you're kind of staring around and you're not looking at the person and there's no eye contact, I'm concerned that you have you're not, you're not assertive, you're not aggressive, you're shy, you're timid, you're not approachable, you don't know what you're talking about, you're lying to me. So having good eye contact can be a little intimidating, but at the same time could also be very powerful. Okay? Smile. So a lot of people come into my interview sometimes and they're very serious and they're very professional and they're just have this serious face on them. I'm like trying to get them to smile. I'm like smiling in the interview. I'm the one doing the interview and I'm smiling, trying to get them to smile, and they don't smile, they don't break a smile at all. I'm a little concerned. And I asked them at the end, why did you smile? I'm interviewing you and I give a lot of feedback at times, sometimes. But I asked them, well, I want to be professional. And I said, okay, but how is smiling not professional? How is laughing or having a good conversation not professional? It is professional. You want to show that you're not that serious of a person. And you can be professional, but at the same time we can have fun. And if you're going for a company that can't have fun, I'm a little concerned about working for that company personally for me. I would hate to go into a company where everybody's just serious all the time. It would drive me crazy. I don't know if it's important to you, but for me it is. Develop a firm handshake. Guys, your handshake can be very firm even to a female. I don't care if you're shaking a girl's hand. Don't think because she's a girl you have to be delicate. Professional handshake, now don't squeeze the hand, but shake the hand. Obviously, maybe some of you have practiced, but meeting here in the end, right, and making sure your hand is, you firmly shake the hand, maybe one or two, and that's it. Don't keep holding on to her hand or his hand. Ladies, don't extend this little hand trying to get a kiss or anything. I don't know why people do that, or if they barely want to touch you. I understand there's some cultures that they don't believe in the handshake, but a majority of the time, nowadays, people are okay with a handshake. But again, it depends on the individual. If they don't believe in a handshake, it's okay, then you don't have to shake their hands. But at least always extend for the hand. My biggest advice when you extend for the hand, if you extend your arm, it gives you that space and doesn't get someone to get too close in your little personal bubble. And I say that for when I do career fairs and stuff like that, because people will get in your face. But extending the hand is always really important because it tells them this is my space and that is yours. Okay? Be positive. When you're doing interviewing, when you're talking to somebody, stay away from any negative or if I ask you for an example of any sort, I don't want to know your issues or your problems that you had with your manager. Always remain positive. And you may get very comfortable. The employer may make you feel like you're talking to their best friend, and they do that on purpose because they want to see the real you. Always remain very positive and always stay very connected to being professional. Does that make sense? Any questions on this? No? Don't. What is late? What is on time? 5 minutes early? 10 minutes early? 15? 15? Anybody else? 15 minutes is on time. If you're there 20, 30 minutes, you might seem a little too desperate. If you're there 10 or 5 or right on schedule, you're late. Okay? So if you get there early, if you get there an hour early because you were just scared, you don't know Houston traffic or Beaumont traffic, I don't know how it is here, but if you're scared that you're going to be late, it's okay to get there an hour early, but sit in your car, relax, role play, go online, Google some stuff about the company so it's fresh in your head, and then walk in 15 minutes on time. So don't arrive on time or late. Don't talk too much. Sometimes in the interview when I ask questions, you'll get someone that'll just give you like 20 million sentences, and it's just like, okay, kind of gave me 5 answers in that one, but I guess I'll take it. It can get a little, if you do that, I will tell you the interview probably won't go as long. You want to make sure your sentences are clear, but not, don't try to add more to it. It's kind of like when you're in court. If they ask you a yes or no question, just say yes or no. You don't want to go into detail because it can get you into trouble. Don't chew gum. Obviously, you all should know. Please don't chew gum when you're in an interview. If you accidentally forget that you have gum, I'm sorry, but you'll probably have to swallow it. That's my biggest advice. Don't even ask if you can spit it out in their office. Just deal with that. Inappropriate language. I know it's easy sometimes to say the S word, and you may think that that's not a bad word, or or S word can be SH word or the SU word, right? So you don't want to say anything like that. Inappropriate language is inappropriate language. Always maintain professionalism. Cell phones. We all have cell phones, but I can always hear a buzz, and I can always hear, obviously, a beep or a ring. So please, I would highly recommend leaving your cell phone in the car. You guys, I promise you, you will survive for at least an hour without your cell phone by your hip. Ladies, if you have a big purse and you want to carry that big purse with you, it's okay. Maybe you can put it on the side of the chair, but less is more. You want to be able to have, you don't want to put anything on the table. You don't want to put your purse, your keys, your phone, your purse. I mean, I repeated myself, but all of that on the table, it's very distracting. So making sure it's just you, a portfolio, and that is it, is the biggest advice. If you have to have your purse with you, then it's okay, but just put it on the side, okay? Don't look at your watch. Obviously, sometimes we all have things to do. We're all very busy. I get it, but the moment you will look at your watch, I promise you that interview will end within a minute. Obviously, your time is more important. You need to be somewhere. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to be late, so let's just get you where you need to go. Please don't look at your watch. It's a habit for you to do that. Make sure not to wear one. Or look for a watch. Do you think that's rude? No, right? It's rude for someone to look at their watch when you're in an interview. You wouldn't want them to do that to you, right? Don't assume anyone's unimportant. So when you're in the lobby and you're about to go into an interview, my lobby, my regional vice president passes through there all the time. And sometimes we may have casual day, and he'll be in jeans and a t-shirt. Sometimes he's dressed he looks like an area manager. He looks like a branch manager. He really does. So don't assume that everybody you meet is not important. So when you see somebody passing by you in the lobby, say hi. Even if they don't say hi to you, be like, hi, how are you? Just make it a point to say hi to everybody. The receptionist, that person is judging you the moment you walk in the door, I promise you. She is going to go and tell them, you have an interview here, and gosh, they just look rude. So you want to be able to be very, very nice to this person, very friendly, showing who you are. You're being interviewed the moment you walk in that door. Remember that. Any questions on this? See, I hear the buzz, and it's me. Sorry. Dress and grooming. So dress affects others' perception of you. Take it seriously. So as a college student, you get to enjoy sandals, jeans, the shorts, the cut-off shirts. Enjoy it while you can. Because after this, it doesn't last anymore. Unless you work for an employer that's okay with it. But making sure you're always dressing professional for whenever you meet with somebody. Is there such thing as being overdressed for an interview? Who said yes? Give me an example. What's overdressed? Tuxedo. Okay, so tuxedo, obviously, that's for an occasion. But a full suit, looking sharp, is there such thing as being overdressed?
Yes, sometimes it depends on the color that you wear.
The what?
The color that you wear.
The color?
Sometimes it overwhelms the interviewer.
Okay.
In some cases.
Okay, you're saying being loud, right? Okay. Anybody else said yes? Yeah, why?
Wearing a suit to apply for a McDonald's job or something.
Why?
Well, you won't be wearing that on a daily basis.
So that's the problem, right? Assuming. Why not? Do you want to be a McDonald's front person working there all the time for the rest of your life? Your goal is to eventually move up into management, maybe be a CEO of McDonald's, maybe run your own business. So you dress for the job or career you want, not the one you have. So my recommendation is always dress professional, even if it's for McDonald's, even if it's for Taco Bell, even if you're applying to clean cars. You never know who you're going to bump into. You never know where that interview may take you. They may say, hey, you know what? You look sharp. maybe interview you in a different direction and consider you for something better. Why not? So there's no such thing as being overdressed for an interview. You wear a full matching suit. Now, if they tell you for the second interview, I would recommend maybe wearing this, then you take their advice. But I promise you, you're not going to get points deducted because you wore a full suit for my interview. So my biggest advice is everybody, I would highly recommend, and guys and girls, there's very inexpensive suits. I would invest in one good one. A solid black, you can wear it 3 times a week and nobody will know, I promise. A gray, a blue, so those are very simple colors. Yeah.
For the winter, would you recommend wearing a skirt suit like something you have on? Because I'm always like scared to wear like a skirt suit. I don't know why.
Honestly, it's a skirt suit or a pantsuit. You can wear whatever you prefer.
You just don't want your skirt that you look like.
Yeah, a professional skirt. So I would wear a skirt to your knees. Make sure your jacket is, nicely matches your suit. I would always recommend a matching suit at least. If you don't own one, if you don't have one, it's okay. I'm not telling you to go buy a $300 suit, and those of you who don't have one, don't leave here thinking, she told me I have to buy a suit. No, just invest in one if you can. You guys can invest money in a lot of other stuff, and I know you can. I was a college student too. Those broke days, yes, you're broke, but you still spend money. So if you can invest money on a suit, I would highly recommend it. Any other questions? So I hope that answers your question. Daily personal hygiene. Showering, shaving, making sure your nails are trimmed. Females, bright blue colors, bright orange colors, and it's great when it's Halloween, but when you're interviewing, making sure that that's very professional, maybe some very neutral colors. Less is more. You don't want to be very distracting. You don't want to be there, showing up in an orange nail polish, because most of the time I can't help but stare at your nail polish as an employer, someone interviewing you. Guys, if you're going to be showing up with a beard, making sure it looks really neatly and trimmed, mustache, whatever beard you decide. You want to look. If you want to be a CEO one day, start dressing like one. Start looking like one and start acting like one. Trends, piercing, tattoos. Now, is it okay to show up with tattoos or piercings and your body parts? It depends on the company you're applying for. My recommendation is probably not. At least not for the first interview. Hide them as much as you can. Now, if you're applying for a tattoo parlor or somewhere that they require tattoos, then hey, show all the tattoos you have. Show your artistic side. But when you're applying for a professional company, my biggest advice is hide as much as you can. If you have tattoos, I don't need to know where your tattoos are at. So make sure to hide them, okay? Piercings, females, just very simple. Less is more. The 5 key mark, I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. Earrings, necklace, 1 ring, and that is it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 is probably a watch. You can wear a watch or a bracelet. But less is more. Any questions on that? No? Understanding the difference between casual, business casual, and business professional. Do you understand the difference between those 3?
Yes.
Who here can describe what casual is?
Just like your everyday wear.
Everyday wear. Okay. Business casual?
Probably a nice blouse, but maybe without a jacket for a
Okay.
lady, but probably a professional skirt and pants.
Okay, awesome.
And then business professional, I probably would throw on like the blazer or the jacket you're wearing for
Full suit.
full suit.
Okay, good. You got a ball already?
No.
You want to?
No ball or car?
So casual. Very examples. Pictures are probably a little old, sorry, but these are, you made it?
Yeah, no. I draw kind of parts.
Something you probably would wear. So this is for a business function. If they tell you, hey, it's casual, you can wear casual today, you want to be able to still look nice, but at the same time be casual, okay? Business casual. Maybe your work, your employer says our business here is business casual. You don't have to wear a full suit all the time. So this is what's expected for you to wear. Guys, it can work 2 ways. You can wear a dress shirt or a polo, depending on your company or your employer. Any questions on that? And of course, business dress. Looking professional, looking sharp, making sure you look the part. And again, even if you're applying for McDonald's, you want to still look the part. You want to show up there and be impressive. Any questions on the business dress or anything like that? No? Really cool thing that we have with Enterprise, and I'm always going to sell Enterprise, sorry I have to. We have what we call Dress for Success. So we have different companies. We have Macy's, Limited, Joseph A. Bank, to name a few. We have like 3 or 4 more. So for every $100, you only give us back $85 or $80 depending on the company depending on the store you're applying for. So when you start with us day one, you can get up to $600 with Macy's, and you only pay us back $510, but we take it out of your paycheck up to 6 pay periods, which is really cool. I've done it since I started. Yeah. Kind of going through these, and I'm sorry, I don't want to run out of time because I can talk. Are we good on time? I don't know. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So professionalism was hired. So once you're hired, don't think that once you start, I'm in, I'm untouchable, nothing can happen to me, I can be me, and show your true colors. You're probably on a 3-month probation. So a lot of companies can let you go within the first 90 days without a reason. And a lot of companies can let you go without a reason. They don't have to give you a reason why they're letting you go. So you always want to make sure that you're professional throughout your entire time, not just to get the job, but once you get the job. Because at the same time, what are you guys all hoping to get once you get hired? Promoted. Good, you get a ball. Or a car or something. Promoted. So the opportunity to advance to the next level for football.
Try this. There we go. We got one.
So appropriate behavior in conversations. Whenever you're talking to anybody, again, you never know how this person's going to influence your career. So always maintain a professional work relationship with everybody. Even if you don't like the person, still be professional. Be polite and use manners. Okay, that just goes without saying. Accept constructive criticism and feedback. That was, so one of the things that a lot of people struggle today. Everyone thinks they're perfect, and I can see why. And you may feel that you may be perfect, but I will tell you, if you're trying to be better, you need to be able to accept constructive feedback. And don't think that when I give you a comment or something for you to do, don't think that I'm picking on you, and don't take it too personal, and don't be that whiny person, and let everything affect you. It may hurt your feelings right then and there, but we're all grown-ups. Take it and either use it to help you better your career, or don't. Make your own judgment. But at the same time, someone's telling you this because it's one person's perception, it's probably everybody else's. Accept responsibility for your actions. Everyone is replaceable. Okay? Don't make excuses for mistakes you make. Own up to it. That's one thing that I will tell you. If you make a mistake, it can be fixed. So just own up to it, say you made a mistake, it won't happen again, and just move forward. If you lie about it, and you try to hold back, and try to make excuses, you're only hurting yourself and probably digging yourself into a bigger hole. Do the right thing, ethics. And that's, like she said, lie, cheat, or steal. Your job is pretty much secure with our company. So don't lie, okay? Don't try to steal or cheat your way through anything, because I promise you it will catch up to you. Stay away from rumor mill, don't gossip. You can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Obviously we all know that. And don't be labeled a whiner. Be labeled a winner. Okay, so being on time doesn't stop with just the interviewing, right? Being on time to work is always really important. You're building your personal brand at work. So that's important for you guys to start with that today. When you start with an employer, you're not starting with them and you're able to restart your personal brand or continue building your brand. And we all, I hope by now, have an idea of how we want to be perceived and how others may perceive us. Do you like how others perceive you? Right now, can you all raise your hand? Are you 100% happy with the way others perceive you? No, no one, no one. 1, 2. You're 100% happy. Okay. So for those of you that are not, this is an opportunity for you all to build your personal brand and really make a difference with yourselves, with your employers. So being able to start that today is important. And leave only when the job is done. Don't leave early. Don't be the first one in, the first one out. Try to make a good impression. Don't also try to overpromise. Don't show your employer that you're going to be the person staying 30 minutes an hour late every day, because when it's expected, it's something that he or she will expect all the time. But do it when you need it. When work is not done, try to finish up the day. Make sure your work is ready so when you come in the next day, you're not playing catch up all the time. network, build rapport. That's one thing that we are very proud about our company is that we're always pushing our employees to network. Everybody that you meet will influence your career at one point, maybe, okay? So you could also be that person. I encourage you to have mentors. Be a mentor to somebody, have mentees, or reach out to mentors. And there's no specific number on how many mentors you can have. You can have 5, you can have 10 mentors. Everybody, I highly recommend it once you start with a company is to always reach out to somebody for at least some sort of mentorship. Never look down on your peer. They may be your boss one day. And that is so true. With Enterprise, we promote you based on performance. I quickly surpassed a couple of my assistant managers. I became branch managers. I passed some of the MTs that started before me, and I became their manager. You never know who you're going to bump into. And it could be vice versa, right? So I will tell you a story. I had an employer. I had 2 employees that I worked with, and one of them was let go for an ethical issue. But the other employee and her didn't get along, right? So it's a huge conflict. But the person that was let go, I'm sorry, it's a huge story, but the person that was let go knew a lot of people in upper management. This person was trying to get promoted. They didn't get along. So when this person had a huge influence on his promotion to the next level, you never know who's going to affect your career at one point, so always maintain professional work environments, even if you don't like that person. I can't say that enough. Does that make sense? Never look down on, don't get drunk at company functions. We have a lot of functions where we have open bar. Open bar does not mean let's get drunk. Open bar means you can have your respectable 1, 2, 3. You all know your limit. I'm assuming you all might know your limit. And for those of you that don't, if you don't know your limit, don't drink. There's non-alcoholic beverages that you guys could have. You don't have to look like you don't have to join everybody else that's drinking. And if you feel like you need to, just have a glass of wine and just carry that glass of wine with you the whole time. Okay? But know your limit. Additional advice. First 3 months of generally probation. So like I mentioned, your first 3 months, you're probably on a 90-day probation. The job is not still secured, so you're still having to prove yourself. Join a professional training. I think I mentioned all of these already. Remember your recruiter and your boss, maybe your answer machine. And I didn't say that earlier, but a lot of you guys in your resume today, you guys are putting emails and phone numbers on there. So all of your phone numbers on there, guess what? The employer is going to contact you at one point, right? And you're hoping for that. So do all of you have a professional answering machine? All of you. Raise your hand if you have a professional answering machine. No? Okay. So why don't we start changing that? Professional means it's just saying your name. Please leave me your name and number, and I will contact you as soon as I can. Simple. You do not have to leave. I don't want to hear a song. I don't want to hear your favorite song. I don't want to hear the fake voicemail. Hey, hi. Just kidding. Leave me a voicemail. I promise you, I won't leave you a voicemail. It irritates me. Or a song. Unless I really like the song, I probably won't listen to the song. Not everybody has the same taste. So making sure it's very simple. I do recommend that you also leave a voicemail. Those of you that don't even have a voicemail, that say you reach the number, leave a message. A lot of times employers might not leave a message because they don't know they're calling the right person. But it's important that you all have a professional voicemail. So I'm hoping that all of you will change that today. I know a lot of you are leaving, and if you're leaving throughout, we do have some our iPads information that we are collecting some names and numbers from you guys. If you guys want to get an email from us at the end, I'll be happy to email you. Maybe we can have some contact information, and I'll be happy. If it's not with Enterprise, I like helping people find their niche, find their career, find their opportunity, and I'll be happy to talk to you. You just want me to look at your resume and tell me, hey, does this look good? I'll be happy to do that for you guys, okay? So if you want to leave me your contact information, we can talk a little further. And we can kind of, you want to talk to us? I know I'm running out of time. Know your boss's assistant and your boss's spouse. Listen 80% of the time, talk 20. Make sure you're not the talker, you're not talking 100% of the time. Limit your romance life outside of work. It's a really cool thing. Don't get your honey where you make your money. There can be issues, okay? And I know we're gonna work there. You're probably gonna work there 12 hours a day. You're probably gonna be seeing the same people over and over, and you sometimes you have no choice. But my biggest recommendation is don't get your honey where you make your money. Ask for a raise because you're worth the money, not because you want more. Don't go. Again, we're going with expectations. You all have high expectations. You all deserve it. You're entitled. I feel like I should make this much money because I'm worth it. Why? So when you're going in with a proposal to your boss and you're talking to them about, is there opportunities for me to make more money? I'm going to go in there with, not only have I met your expectations, but I've exceeded your expectations by X, Y, and Z. This is what I have done, and this is what I plan to contribute to the company. Is there opportunities for me to advance with the company? Is there opportunities for me to make more money with the company? This is my goal, and this is obviously what I want. It may not happen today, but I want a career path on what I may be offered down the road. And that's a conversation I have to have myself. I'm not in a income generating industry. I'm not working in the rent-a-car industry where I'm renting cars. I'm hiring people. So I have to have these conversations. There's nothing wrong with talking to your employer about opportunities for advancement or opportunities for more money. And a lot of people are too scared to do that. And I will tell you that it's a very, very difficult conversation to have. But if you feel, not because you feel that you need it or you want it, but because you've earned it and you've worked hard and you've proven yourself to get to the next level, then it's okay to have those conversations. It really makes a good impression as well. Ask for a raise, be ready, give a 30-second description of your company to friends, neighbors. Sorry. So set financial goals. So all of us are working to make money, right? We all have our goals in life. We all want the nice things. I'm driven, I'm motivated by money. My goal was to be successful and to make lots of money, right out of college. Don't get your first paycheck and start investing and buying cars and buying all these nice things. Really set yourself up for success because you never know when anything can affect your financial needs. Okay? Develop and follow a budget. Save for a rainy day. Benefits. It's important to ask for benefits within the company. If it's important to you, it's important to ask. Okay, so if you need benefits, if you would like to know about the benefit plans, a lot of employers can give you a benefit sheets of what they have to offer, or a lot of times it's online and you can see what they offer already. We have great benefits, by the way. So this is really cool. It's some little sayings that Bill Gates we found online. It says 11 things you didn't learn in school. A lot of them can be really brutal, but it's true and it's reality. And I can give feedback and give you guys the honest truth, and I'm hoping that you guys take it all as constructive as you can. Because it's not towards you personally, right? Life is not fair. Get used to it. Okay? Don't feel because everything has been handed to you, everything has been easy for you in your life, that you want to do mine too? That you're entitled to everything. Just because you have a degree and you're graduating from college, that you should get that nice corner office. Because guess what? You're graduating with over hundreds of thousands of students. Hundreds of thousands of people who have professional work experience, and now you're competing against everybody else out there. So what's going to set you apart from everybody else? And you're working on that today. And I'm hoping the last 4 or 5, 6 years of college that you've been in, or however long it took you, that you've already by now know what you want. The world won't care about your self-esteem. The world will expect you to accomplish something before you feel good about it. Does that make sense? Does it hit home? Yeah. You won't be a vice president of a company with a car phone until you earn it. And earlier today I asked, how many of you can right out of college go in for a company that's going to pay you $60,000 to $75,000? A lot of you were like, yeah, everybody. And that's something I see all the time. Right out of college, your expectation, because you have a college degree, you're entitled to make that minimum expectation. On average, not just enterprise, on average, starting salary for someone entry level is 40 to 45,000. That's an average. If you're being told something different, I don't know what they tell you in school, but that's what an average. I get an email, or not an email, a magazine that tells me every single employer and what the average makes for a starting salary, and that's the average. Now, when you get promoted and you start with a company and they pay 60, 75, 80,000 starting off, good. Honestly, it's very rare when you can find that, and if you find that, good for you, and I'm very proud of you, and you deserved it, right? But you want to ask yourself this question: where will you see yourself in 5 years? Will this company offer opportunity, advancement, more money in 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road? Or will you be making 70, 80,000 for the rest of your life? Honestly, and a lot of employers will give you the 60, 70,000, sell you, hook you in, and get you excited. And once you're in, it'd be like, well, there may be opportunity, but you have to wait. You know, someone has to quit or retire first before you get that role. Okay, so is that fair for you? No. So don't feel entitled. If you think your teacher is tough, wait until you get a boss. Your boss doesn't have tenure. Your boss is going to tell you how it is. And what you're having to worry about now, hopefully, is ethical issues, right? Making sure your boss is being ethical, and there's always, lawsuits that can happen. But at the end of the day, your boss is going to be honest. He's not here to, help you, get you to the next level. If you don't want it, that's you. A lot of employers will do that. Enterprise, we push our employees. We want you to get promoted. We will push you, push you, and push you. Sometimes even though when you're when you fall on your face, guess what? You'll have 20 hands there ready to pick you up, because we've all been there. We all know what it's like. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy career. It was very tough. There's a lot of sweat and tears that go into it, but the opportunity and the advancement is there, and it's reality, because we're all living proof. Everybody above me, I see it. I see it for myself. Everything, okay, I said that one. Flipping burgers is not beneath your dignity. Your grandparents had a different word for burger flipping. They called it opportunity. Okay? People, nowadays, we all, again, and I say entitled because I see it all the time. I'm only 8 years out of college. And I remember right out of college thinking, I have a degree, I need to be, doing that, having that really cool job that pays a lot of money. But I quickly learned that, guess what, Sandy, wake up, it's not going to happen. I graduated in 2008, the economy was terrible, nobody was hiring, people were being let go. The only company that was actually really hiring was Enterprise. And I was really lucky to get in with Enterprise, and been with Enterprise ever since. If you mess up, it's not your parents' fault, so don't whine about it, learn from them. It's really easy to put blame on somebody else, and I know a lot of people that can do that. It's not my fault, it's because this person did this, and da-da-da. Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, own up to it. It's you, fix it, make it work. And if it wasn't your fault, that's going to make you even a bigger and better person. Before you were born, your parents weren't as boring as they are now. They got that way from paying your bills, cleaning your clothes, listening to you talk about how cool you are. So before you have the rainforest from the parasites of your parents' generation, try delousing the closet in your own room. Clean up your mess before you blame anybody else, okay? Does that make sense? It's funny. I thought it was funny. Your school may have done away with winners and losers, but life has not. In some schools, they have abolished failing grades, and they will give you as many times as you want to get the right answer. This doesn't bear the slightest resemblance to anything in real life. A lot of schools, they have that No Child Left Behind, or we have a lot of schools where you're really failing, but I'm gonna push you forward because I have no choice. Guess what? Life is not like that. You may have had it easy through grade school and college and currently where you're at today, but when you hit the real world, guys, I promise you it's not as easy as it seems. Life is not divided into semesters. You don't get summers off. You have very few employers that are interested in helping you find yourself. Do that on your own time. That's true to some employers, to some companies, and I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that with Enterprise, because with Enterprise, honestly, we're there all the time. I mean, we're competing with each other, but at the same time, we're always helping each other. We're always trying to be there for one another and trying to help each other grow and see Jamie be better. But at the same time, I want to be number one, but I want to see her advance. And so we're always there for each other, and that's our level. But in the management role, my MTs, my assistant managers, I promise you, I was always there trying to help them find their career, find themselves, push them to get promoted to the next level, because it not only helped them and it made me feel great, but at the same time, it helped me get promoted. Television is not real. In real life, people actually have to leave the coffee shop and go to jobs. House of Friends fanatics, so obviously I always thought that that's what the real world looked like, right? But in reality, everybody actually has to go to work. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll probably end up working for one day. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Be professional. And final thoughts. This is just some last thoughts about what we talked about today. Voicemails, email address, social media. And I don't need to say this. I think you all hear this all day long and all the time. Anything you put online, it will be there forever. An employer can go online and look at your profile if there's access to it, if I'm able to see it. And that's not illegal, because guess what? You put it out there for everybody to see. So making sure you're always, especially now that you're going for companies, your profile picture is the first thing that they're going to look at, making sure that it looks professional. If you're drinking and partying with your friends, try to make those very, very private as you can. But everything you put online is for everyone to see. Appearance, having a great elevator speech. You never know who you're going to bump into. So once you get that job and you happen to be in the elevator with your boss, guess what? You have 10 seconds to make a good impression and to really wow them and make them know who you are. Have a great handshake. We talked about that. Follow-up, keys, job fairs, new contacts, and be excited about who you are and what you have to offer. Okay, and that's the best advice I can give you, because if you go in and you apply for a company and you gave it your best and you were who you are, and that employer chooses not to go with you, guess what? It's their loss, right? It's not yours. Don't beat yourselves up. Don't give up, because if you go back again 6 months down the road and you try out again, you try to make a better impression in your city. I'm not going to give up. I want to know what I did wrong. I want to be the best. That really says a lot. But be proud of what you've earned and what you've done so far. And if you haven't and you're not proud of it, it's not too late. Thank you. That's our contact information. My name is Sandy. Mrs. Jamie, do you all have any questions?
I have a question. I think you kind of touched on this basis on it. I was going to ask you, like, is there a cap on you all salaries? Like, I know you mentioned that once you get to branch manager, regional manager, you can start making like $100,000 a month. So, yeah, I was going to ask, is there a cap on that?
No, there's no cap.
Promotion style?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to promote you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. There's no gap because, again, we want you to make more, because the more you make, the more we make. So, thank you. So, there's no cap.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And like, what is the highest level position? Like,
The
does it
highest
go
level is
beyond that?
CEO. So we have our first female CEO for our that works for the company that is not a family member, which says that there's opportunity for us all. So the Taylor family still runs a business. He has his granddaughters currently working, and they're in different departments within the company. But Pam Nicholson, she's our first CEO to run the enterprise company, which is awesome.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to stay. I'm welcome to talk one-on-one to anybody that's interested. And once again, if you left your contact information, I'll be happy to stay in touch with you, throughout your semester or the year. Thank you.